Hey, what up, guys? So coming this morning, gonna do the weekend preview. Actually drawing a blank as I pull this up, but we got 2 fight cards taking place on Saturday. It's nothing real big, but you know, worth talking about. They should be pretty solid action, decent up and coming fighters, and some veterans too. So we're gonna start off with the main event of the Facebook watch card, which is going to see Joseph Diaz Jr., the up-and-coming, he's a former world title challenger. He's trying to get himself in line for a title shot at 130. He's taking on some unknown guy, I think Jesus Quadras or something like that. Guy's unknown. It's kind of a stay-busy fight for Diaz. I think Diaz is going to smash on him. I've heard nothing about this undercard, which means there's probably nobody worth a note to watch, but it's going to be a Golden Boy card taking place on Facebook Watch later that night, so check it out if you get a chance. Then on Fox Sports 1, also that night, we're going to have a pretty solid double header, like 2 fights worth watching. The co-feature is going to see a welterweight showdown between former world title challenger Thomas Delorme and undefeated Terrell Williams, who's on the rise at welterweight. It's actually a pretty big deal fight right here. Delorme is just broke into my top 10 based on what he's done. Last year he took on Jesse Vargas and fought him to a draw in a really good fight. So Delorme's been around the block. He's been in the ring with Terrence Crawford, been in the ring with some solid fighters. He's a veteran, trying to prove he still belongs, and trying to get back into another world title fight. And Terrell Williams is trying to prove that he's legit. And in the welterweight division, this is the division to prove you're legit. So he's got a real opportunity here to bust himself into the top 10 with a win. I'm going to call him to win this fight by maybe a stoppage in the later rounds, but I see a decision win more likely. But I've never seen Williams fight. I just seen his resume. It's not bad, but Delorme is definitely going to be his toughest opponent, and I'm really looking forward to it. That's a co-feature. And then the main event is former middleweight champion Peter Kid Chocolate Quillin is taking on former world title challenger Alfredo Angulo of Mexico. These are 2 guys kind of past their primes, obviously, but Quillin is trying to get himself back in line for another world title shot. He's the favorite coming in. He had that fight with Caleb Truax fall through last month, the rematch. Truax got hurt, so now Quillin's trying to keep himself in the mix for a world title shot and taking on Angulo, who is past it. He was past it years ago. The guy hasn't been nothing for a lot of years now. He's come back and got a couple wins, but against really nobodies. He's just kind of a name that people know that they're throwing in there against Kid Chocolate. I think Quillin's going to outwork him. I could see him stopping Angulo in the middle to later rounds, but I could also see a decision win for Quillin as he moves forward. So not big time action, guys, but stuff worth watching, and it should be decent. So Facebook Watch, Joseph Diaz, and then you get the doubleheader on Fox Sports 1. I really think you should pay attention to Terrell Williams and Thomas Delorme as a co-feature. I think that's pretty much the fight of the weekend, and it shouldn't be bad. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you're watching this weekend. True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.